What's up, guys? Rungood Vapes coming at you again, finally with a review. It's been a crazy week. We spent some time down at the St. Louis Vapor Expo. Just putting together this room to give it a little better feel for me and a little better feel for you. But we are about to drop some mad videos in the next few days, guys. But today, we are going to take a look at the Herakles Plus. Everybody's talking about it. We've got ups, we've got downs. We've got some big-time reviewers raving about it, calling it the best tank of the year, of last year, even though it came out near the end there. And just like saying this is God's gift to tanks and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to take a look at it. I've been vaping on one for a couple weeks now. Picked up another one. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. I'm going to tell you what I like, what I don't like. And then let you make the decision from there. I'm going to give you a real review, though. It seems a lot of videos on this Herakles Plus for something are like, I don't know. It's like they're freaking in love with it. They want to go to bed with it and cuddle with it. I don't know. I mean, it's a good tank. Don't get me wrong. But we're going to break it down. We're going to go over it. I've got one without all the gimmicks and the craziness on there. But the Stormtrooper look, I just had to throw it all together when I throw it on the RX. I will be vaping it on an RX. Probably going to be at about 70 watts throughout this video. That's just my sweet spot with this Pancake Man that I'm vaping on when it's in the Herakles. I like it a little higher on RDAs. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a toke and we'll talk about it a little bit. So the Herakles Plus. It's pretty much the updated version of the Herakles. Supposedly, that's what Sense was marketing it as. They also have a downgraded version that just came out, the Sense Mermaid, that was supposed to be on my doorstep today with a bunch of other stuff, but it's going to be here soon. We're going to do a review of that for you guys too. The Mermaid's actually a really, really affordable tank. I got mine for 10 bucks. I think they're selling them around for like 20, 25 maybe. But the Herakles, yeah, so Sense brought it out as kind of an upgrade from the regular Herakles. And I'll have to admit there's some features that are definitely upgraded. There's some stuff I really like. The top airflow is unique. So the top airflow, how this works, you guys probably won't be able to see this. I'll show you more when we break it down. But it's coming in the top, going down to the coil through an outside chamber and coming back up. So it's hitting the coil. It's not just a bunch of extra air. It's not making for an airy vape. That was a win. Definitely something I'm digging. You're going to see me wiping this tank a lot. It leaks. There's some stuff you can do to minimize the leakage, but you are probably not going to completely eliminate it. I've heard some people have. I've tried it all, guys. I know my way around a tank, and all these videos that are saying they fixed it and they fixed it completely. It's a little better, but it's not much better. It's a leaker. It's a tank, and it's not even that big of a capacity. So I don't know. It's 3.6 milliliters, but it's got bottom airflow, top airflow, 3.6 milliliters. It's got top fill, which is kind of nice. I'll break that down in the video. But I like it. I think it's a good tank other than the leakage. You know, it's not my favorite in the world ever. I mean, there's pros and cons. The flavor on this is exceptional. So that's why I've been using it. And I haven't switched it up in the last week. When I want a tank, it is what I'm throwing on the RX. So that's got to win it over some credit, you know? The flavor is just impeccable. I think a lot of that has to do with the patented tri-coil system they have. They have like 3 coils in one, and Sense has now patented that, so I don't think you're going to see that go up and crazy like I originally thought it might, where everybody was going to start doing that tri-parallel vertical coil, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it is putting out massive amounts of flavor. It's a juice sucker, like any tank that puts out this much flavor with this kind of coil. You're gonna be pushing through some juice. For me, that's okay. I've got tons up here. I got tons in packages. But if you are trying to budget vape, it goes through juice, just like the TFV4, just like the Crown. Probably not as much as the TFV4 and a little more than the Crown, so it's kind of probably middle between the two. But yeah, let's go ahead and take you down. I'm going to walk you through what comes in the box, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Okay guys, so this is the packaging that it comes in. It's got this nice little sleeve over the plastic case here, and that slides right off. And then you've got the plastic case here. You got the Sense Herakles Plus. You've got some details on the back. Not a lot of information there, but you got ways to authenticate it and stuff with it, which is always important. Know you're getting the real deal. Open it up here. You got the Herakles Plus. Let's see what goodies they're going to give us. I already know, but they're going to give us an extra glass tank. They're also going to give us a 0.2 stainless steel coil with a similar build inside. That's going to be for temperature control. I always recommend if you're going to throw that in, make sure to look up and use the temperature control appropriately. It's also got some user instructions in here. Gives some details. The 3.6 milliliter stainless steel, talks about the top fill, what other coils are available, the 0.4 Kanthal, the 0.2 stainless steel, the 0.2 nichrome. Pretty cool. Some instructions on how to saturate that wick and get it primed. But yeah, so we've got the Herakles Plus here. It's not that big of a tank. It's kind of tall and skinny. Just like I like my women. Just kidding. My girl's super fine the way she is. But one of the things I do not like about this Herakles Plus, if you could tell on my RX 200, I definitely switched the drip tip out right away. One of the reasons I did that was this gets extremely hot for me. I know inside we'll see what they have the Delphin, but still, this tip was getting really, really hot for me. So I did go ahead and put a third eye drip tip on it almost immediately. I wasn't a big fan of that. This does have top fill. I haven't found it to be too much of a problem. This just unscrews right here. This top fill, you got ample space to get it down there on the side. What I do, I'm not gonna fill this, but when I angle it out, because inside on this circle are going to be the two top airflow holes that bring the air down through the middle of this chamber to the coil and then back up through the very middle. So those two holes are there. It's easy to get juice in there. If you do get juice in there, obviously it's going to go straight to the bottom and make that leaking issue even worse. So I try to angle it out a little bit better. It's definitely easier to fill with the plastic bottles with the needle tops than it is the glass strippers. So I tend to fill it more with bottles like that. But yeah, so that top comes off just like that. The top airflow is going to be adjusted on this piece. You can close it off just like the bottom, but you'll see. You can put it half, you can put it all the way right there, just like a bottom airflow. And then let's keep breaking her down here. We got the base coming off with your coil, this fresh 0.4 Kanthal, I believe. And on that coil, pops right out real easy. It's got your information. This one, I don't know if we're going to be able to get that. I have it on autofocus, but it's at a 35 to 100 watts on this 0.4. Pretty easy. I like the juice. It's got the Herakles Plus, the tank as a whole, has a great juice control in here. I'm thinking part of that's what's causing the leaking, but I love it because it maximizes the amount of juice getting in there. It really wicks that coil for you, which I love, but that just screws real gently in there. You got your bottom airflow control here. You got good size air holes all the way around there. But that's also creating some of that leakage, so it just kind of depends. I like the airflow control though. I'm willing to work with some leakage because of the flavor, and I think that top airflow and bottom airflow, maximizing those. I usually leave my top just cracked open, I leave the bottom wide open, and I seem to get pretty good clouds, pretty good flavor that way. But your middle, if you want to clean it, or anything like that. This top just screws right off. You'll kind of see that's where the air goes down to the outside of the chamber, gets down to the coil. But real easy to clean. I've washed these and they got pretty good. So that was kind of neat. This is all one piece here. But then to put it back together, just drop the glass back in there, screw the top on. This is a 22 millimeter diameter tank. So it's not huge, but it's not tiny. It's stainless steel construction. It's got the Pyrex glass reinforcement. I've never broke one. I know people that have, so I'm not going to say you never will. I also tend to use a vape band on my everyday tanks, so it does have that innovative top airflow. It's got the efficient air travel because it does go down a separate chamber, so don't get freaked out by this top airflow. It is not a bad top airflow at all. Other than that, it's just that the coil design is something fierce. I love that they patented it. Nobody else is going to be able to use that. Gives you a reason to buy more Herakles products in the future because they are great coils. Their website claims it's a leak prevention top fill method. I don't know about that, but who knows? Maybe. So yeah, it's not that big. 3.6 milliliters. I'd like more, but at the same time, it just would have made the tank, you know, that much longer. So with this, you're just going to get that Kanthal coil, that stainless steel coil, one glass replacement, and the tank. So let's, there's not much to look at. If you want to break it down further, there's hundreds of videos out there. But let's go back up top and let's vape on it and talk on it a little. So yeah, that's what's inside the box. One thing you can turn the juice control off and on. You can turn it all the way wide open. You can turn it partial. It's got, I don't know, half a dozen juice control openings in there to let the juice get to the coil. I kind of like that. When you fill it, make sure you turn that juice control all the way off. Just because that is going to prevent more leaking than needed. This actually looks like it's been doing pretty good today. I've got a couple spots here and there where it's had a drop or two fall down, but not as bad as it has been in the past. So it might take some working into. Like I said, I've been vaping on it for 2 weeks and still get a little more leakage than I'd like though. But let's talk price. I'll tell you how I got these two. I'll tell you the best way to get it. But I got this one originally. Bought it straight from the store, Central Iowa Vapors. Wasn't all that expensive. I think it was like, don't quote me on this, but I think it was like upper 30s, maybe $36, $37, $38. Not a bad price for a store. I think that's pretty fair. Threw the drip tip on it right away though. The third eye, it just got a little too hot for me. I got the second one through a trade, so not much there. It was pretty new. But you can find it on vapenw.com for $24.99. I always preach VapeNW. If you've watched some prior videos, it's just where I've chosen to do my business because it's quick shipping. It's always a very low price, usually the lowest. If not, it's pretty close. Very fast shipping. I usually get my stuff within 72 hours, but I do want to provide a small disclaimer on VapeNW. It might be the time of the year, taxes are going out, but an example is I've got a $400 order out. It was supposed to arrive 2-day shipping. Ordered it a week ago. It's still not here. I know a lot of my other packages that should have been here through personal mail. I know when they sent it. I know how they sent it that should have been here. They're not here either, so I'm not going to blame that on VapeNW. One other thing I do want to let you know, if you order from them, it's picked up by the USPS office in Federal Way, Washington. Once it gets there, it's scanned that it comes in, but I've never had a package from them scan that it goes out. So I have no clue where it is until the day of delivery. It'll let me know that it's being delivered. So that's the only downfall. That's happened every time I've ordered from them. So you're not going to have, you know, that play-by-play that we all like to watch on exactly what city it's in and where it's at. And I know sometimes that's fun, but it can also be stressful, so I don't really mind. But I do love VapeNW. Great customer service. I was actually on the phone with them today about it. They're always good to me. They always pick up the phone. But yeah, $24.99 there. Local shops are usually pretty fairly priced on that. I know all over Des Moines here there's some shops with some good prices, and I love supporting my my locals, so a lot of times I will get my tanks and my RDAs locally, and always support your shop, so thumbs up to that. But yeah, that's kind of the pricing. I'm not going to pitch it. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm definitely going to keep it. I think with all tanks, sub-ohm tanks like this, in this kind of this level, they're all going to have leakage problems. So that's not going to cause me to chuck it. And the flavor is just impeccable. So the flavor enough, I'm willing to deal with it. I got this neat little towel at the expo from Demonic Vapes. I have no clue who they are. I didn't try any of their juice. I was super busy talking to everybody down there. But they provided me with a great towel, and it works. Wash it, reuse it. Don't waste as many paper towels. But yeah, if I lost both of these, if they were both disappeared, would I buy it again? I think so. I think at least for me, it's always nice to have one of these around. It's nice to have a crown around. I'm not a TFE4 guy, but yeah, if I lost both of these, I'd definitely buy it again. A 0 to 10, I'm going to give it like an 8, 8.5, because the flavor's great. The only downfall is that leakage. That's my only concern. Looks good, it vapes good. Vapor production's good, you know, high VG juices, I'm getting huge clouds and great flavor. So I am a fan. If you've thought about it, which one do you want to get? I don't think you can go wrong with Crown or the Herakles. So it's not, you know, it's whatever you like, whatever looks better, whatever you think is going to work better for what you want to do. This does not have an RBA section available. That is one small downfall. But sometimes I just want to throw a coil in and vape. So it's not something that's going to steer me away from it either. So I'm going to call it a winner. You're going to have leakage at this level. So I love it. It looks great. It vapes great. Yeah. So I hope you guys like the new setup. I'm kind of digging it. I put some work into it. Let me know what you guys think. We have a lot of videos coming out in the near future. I've got a lot of lines. They're starting to get backed up. I'm going to go over the Crown. Probably talk on the Fachai. Got one of those coming in. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I'm calling it the Fachai 200 by Sigeli. I got a mod by Tsunami that I'm going to have to review. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a good one, I don't think. But a lot of good juice reviews. And maybe a video where we'll talk on the expo a little bit and what's going on. But until next time, guys. Vape on.